will be sharing some links there. So, study law in Germany, and here you can see our speakers. I will, of course, introduce all of them individually when they start presenting. Before that, really briefly, who is behind today's session? This is My German University, a database where you can find English for study programs offered in Germany. This can be English fully or also partially, and it can be also German, fully German taught study programs as well. I believe today's audience is more oriented towards English only, and specifically today's presented programs. However, in case you know that somebody also searching for German study programs, feel free to recommend this study finder to them as well. We also have articles. Those articles are can be very broad, can be also very specific. For example, country-specific cases for visa or scholarship, etc. And all can be also very broad. For example, about dual studies or what is a ranking of international universities, etc., etc. So feel free to check them out. As at the same time, those articles are translated, and in case you want to read them maybe in your native language or the language you feel comfortable with, feel free to also change the setting in this regard. And of course, to stay connected, we have webinars. We have two big groups, so to say. We have general and subject webinars. In general webinars, my colleagues Oliver and Marie present broader topics like UniAssist, scholarship, and studying in Germany. And then we have Q&A part for you there as well. The next one is about visa, and then we also will have one about UniAssist. And we also have subject webinars like the one we're attending today, when we have guest speakers, luckily, from German universities presenting their programs directly to you. And we believe this is a great chance to ask your questions and interact already directly with maybe your future program coordinator. Who knows? All right, and this is our team. We are based in Hamburg, Germany. Team is all over the Germany, sometimes all over the world, because we also have some team members, for example, in Peru. And we are also happy to share the international experience and also German experience of how it feels studying and living in Germany. You will receive my slides as a follow-up email on Monday, which has much more things to share, for example, subject page or more details about the study finder. But now we don't go through that, as I want to give the mic directly to Jana Luther, who will be talking about L.L.M. International Studies Intellectual Property Law from Technische Universität Dresden. For all programs, you will see a short outlook of the program and the location, but I will not stop here for a long time because you have the whole presentation to listen to. Therefore, the mic goes to Jana directly.
Yeah, before I start and share my screen, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to introduce our program today, and thank you guys to join this webinar. My name is Jana Luther. I'm from Technische University of Dresden, and I am presenting today the International Studies in Intellectual Property and Data Law, a master's program in L.L.M. And let me just try to share my screen as it happened to work when we tried it. Can everyone see my screen?
I will confirm once we see
yes,
it.
Please.
Loading.
Perfect. So as I told you, the program is an L.L.M. program, completely taught in English, even though, and it's designed for international students, students from EU, also from Germany, but actually we have students here from 22 different countries worldwide. And I can show you some, like, let's say, overview at the beginning. We are talking about a 1-year L.L.M. program with 60 ECTS according to the Bologna system, and you are able to study the whole year at TU Dresden in Germany, or you decide to stay one semester, mostly the fall and winter semester, at one of our partner universities even, which are, I can show you in a second. the summer semester is traditionally only spent at TU Dresden in Germany. It's a really nice time to spend time in Dresden because it's all warm and spring, but also we provide all the students with a lot of information and everyone can build networks there. We have a student group of approximately 60 students here, being in their first or second semester. The other thing which is quite nice is that we enroll twice a year, not only at the beginning of the academic year in fall, but also in spring. So even students that need more time for their degree, for example, or don't have it issued for right when you need to apply, you can start a bit later, half a year or whatever. So that is nice as well. We are targeting university graduates, and what we are aiming at, this is not a consecutive program, and that's why we are asking for people that have already gained some professional experience. But you can also always write in as an email asking if maybe internships or some other experience can work as such as well. We are looking for law students or students with a law degree. However, the program is also designed for students that have another background, for example, economics, or also like chemistry, biology, something that is leading into the patent law direction. Or we do have some writers and authors here as well. But what you need is a basic legal knowledge. You can gain it through courses at university and for at least 5 ECTS, which is quite low. And yeah, you need to actually work a lot on your legal knowledge than here, but sometimes our students do some courses at the EU-IPO or EPO, which are the offices at European level for trademarks and patents. Languages we teach is the language or the teaching and examination language is English, although we have the opportunities to send our students also to France, to Strasbourg for the first semester, and that's why, because they are teaching French there, I'll put it in brackets that we also have the teaching language French for the first semester. And we do provide one module in the specialties of German IP law in German for German-speaking students who either have their mother tongue in German or do aim to stay here. And that's why we think that German terminology in IP and data law is quite interesting to know as well. The tuition fee for the whole program is 2,500 per semester. That means 5,000 euro for the whole year. If you choose to go to abroad, from our perspective, of course, but also to another university of our partners, we are reducing the tuition fee at TU Dresden to 500 euros. And at some of the universities, I'll show you in a second where you can go, asking for their own tuition. However, there is also the possibility to fund some of the study program or the duration of the studies with Erasmus funding. And this is quite nice, but it's paid by TU Dresden, so you are a student of TU Dresden anyway for the whole year. At the end, you will receive a Master's of Law, and our students usually end up in IP as IP in-house consultants or in attorney offices all around the world, in European organizations, offices worldwide. We have a lot of former students already, alumni, and own alumni association, and are trying to host seminars also at the European offices, but also at attorney, at some partners, some associated partners in the field of law. As I promised, I can show you where our students can spend the first semester, if they the fall-winter semester, if they want. We have the possibility to send students to Seattle or Tokyo, but also to Prague, Krakow, and Szeged, and to Queen Mary University, University of Exeter in Strasbourg. Study contents, really important things. We have, like, let's say, 4 main pillars, 4 core subjects. That is, on the one hand, in fall and winter, mainly patent and copyright law, and in the second semester, in the summer semester. Sorry that I always say second semester because I'm so into planning the next academic year, and so students start with the winter semester, and that's why. However, in the spring and summer semester, we are focusing on trademark design and data law. Students have lectures and case studies in these subjects, and then they have also the opportunity to take part in moot courts, to take part in seminars where there are some lectures from outside the university structures are holding lectures, and then we are going. Last year we went to Heidelberg to an attorney office to do some trademark lectures. We had a seminar on fashion law just the last winter semester, and I am now planning a seminar on architecture and interior design and go to Weimar. So students get to know Germany, hopefully, as well, or some parts at least. We do have a lot of our alumni living in Berlin, and there will be each year an alumni event in Berlin where some attorneys and also some offices explain what they do right now, what they do with IP and data law in the professional world. And you have the time to explore Berlin as well. This is mainly at the beginning of the study program, so you get to know your group. Usually 30 students start this semester, and it's quite a nice and really a really nice group of students. We also talk about some aspects of unfair competition law and media law if students want that and if students are asking for it. And we are trying to give the students the opportunity to bring in their interests as well. So there's always room for an extra seminar on a special field of data law, for example, or a special branch. We are planning a seminar on, let's say, creative industries as well for summer semester 26, for example. How this is the study program designed? We have, as I said, 4 core subjects. This is patent law, copyright law, trademark design law, and data law. And each of the students needs to do 2 compulsory modules, which are, each of the modules is designed for, or with 5 ECTS, 1 mandatory internship where we provide the students with some information. The students look for internship placements themselves. We do write recommendations, and up until now, this is, I think, the 7th edition coming up of the program. Every one of our students found an internship placement. And the other one is, we call it Fundamentals of Research, where we are providing the students with a course for European law, because it's so essential to know European law or to know how it works when it comes to harmonized law as trademark law, for example, design law, also data law, and parts of patent and copyright law as well. The examination is to present an academic work, which can also be a summarization of the master thesis before you submit the master thesis. A lot of students do that because you get some extra guiding on how to write, where's the red thread of my master thesis. And yeah, this is what like 95% of our students actually do. So the internship as one of the compulsory modules will take in most cases place at the end of the first semester. because as you might know, in Germany, the semester starts quite late in October and lasts until March, but the lectures only take place until January or something. So you have usually February and March to do the self-studies and also the internship. And then we offer a large variety of other elective modules. There is a mood court, and then something I didn't talk about right now. Each Friday, we provide lectures by externals from all over the world in all different fields of IP. In the fall-winter semester, we concentrate on patent and copyright law, just accompanying the lectures we are conducting. And there are, I don't know, lectures on pharmaceuticals, for example, and also on other, film licensing, stuff like that. And in the summer semester, it will be trademark and design law, and it's also data law. We do workshops on Fridays with some practitioners, and the students have the possibility to talk to those practitioners as well and to build some network, and a lot of them find a job even just by talking to our lectures and using their network as well. There are 4 seminar modules on hard and soft IP and current issues in IP and data law, and also current issues in copyright and in patent law. And as I told you already, there is a module in German IP law as well, then in the language of German. And then to finalize everything, there will be a master thesis of 15 ECTS. You have 13 weeks time to work on that. You start looking for a topic in your second semester. There will be a supervisor discussing that with you, and then you formally apply for it at the beginning of July, and then you'll start writing. In some cases, students extend for 1 semester. That is also possible because a lot of our students want to get familiar with the working place Europe, and we can give you some more time to do a longer internship or do your master thesis also in this 3rd semester. How does it look like? We are looking at lecture periods and examination periods and internship or master thesis periods. We usually start in the 2nd week of October and have lectures until shortly before Christmas. In January, we have the presentations of the seminars, the moot courts, and also written exams. Then the internship takes place, and for those who started in April, they will write the master thesis at the beginning of the year. And then in April, the new lecture period starts until the end of June, sometimes beginning of July. Then there follows an examination period, moot courts, seminar presentation, written exams, and then the master thesis. This is only to show you some how we are designing or have designed the program. TU Dresden, what modules there are at TU Dresden, but also some of the study fields you could choose at our partner universities. As you can see, we try to send students that are interested in creative industries. For example, we would like to send them to London, for example, or sometimes also to Tokyo or Prague. And students that are more into patent law, I'd personally send more to Strasbourg and Szeged, for example, or also Krakow. And but everyone can, of course, do their studies wherever they want, but it's just kind of specialization for example, in Strasbourg for the patent law, or let's say patent law trademark, the traditional IP law, because they are educating each of the patent lawyers in the whole of France in Strasbourg. So you meet a lot of people that are doing the same as you want to do as well there. And Dresden, as I said, is a really, really beautiful city, especially in the summer semester, but also, of course, during Christmas markets, you can meet a lot of nice people here and do all the modules here as well. Speaking about applications, the application period for non-European students has just passed for the upcoming intake, but the next application deadline or period will open in September already for the April intake, and students from the European Union or Germany can apply even for the fall-winter intake until May 15th. And how do we do that? We ask our students to apply via UniAssist. And only our German degree holders have to apply or should apply via mobility online. What do we ask for? You need to have a first degree already and at least a basic knowledge of law. As I said, law students are welcome, of course, as well. And professional experience is something that is really nice and asked for, but as I said, sometimes an internship will do as well. Language requirements, we do recommend a C1, even though we are accepting people with a, let's say, B2 plus 95 or 90 points in TOEFL or 6.5 at IELTS test. For Strasbourg, we recommend a B2 language level. You don't know any German when you want to study with us. We do provide German language classes for each of our students, especially for A1 beginners. This is quite nice because then because you can just get along during the everyday or in your everyday life. You need to write a motivation letter why you are interested in IP and data law. You can find the application form in the provided link, and when it comes to the CV, you can use every single CV you've ever created already, or the Europass if you haven't done so, because it's easier for us to read, of course, because a lot of students use it. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me whatever you want, of course, with regards to the program. We are quite a nice team, and we are trying to help you in every matter we can. So yeah, I'm really open to any kind of questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Jana, for all the details you provided. Dear attendees, also relevant links and info email that is displayed on the screen now is also on the chat. So in case you need to contact them, feel free to do. But I also checked the program page. They have lots of frequently asked questions. So everything you need to know, is also there available. Great. With this, Jan, I would like you to ask to stop the screen share. Thank you. And I give the mic to Katrina Miola, who will be talking about L.L.M, European Film, Business and Law. I just said University of Potsdam, but there are many institutions participating, and Katrina will explain that in more detail. So the mic is yours. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention Laura, who will be he's also here and will be assisting as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was going to introduce also Laura. I'll also in the meantime share my screen. Hopefully it works. My name is Katrina. I am the project manager of the European Film Business and Law LLM and MBA program. I will explain it in a bit while I'm mentioning also MBA. And together with me is Laura Speicher. She is the coordinator of the program. And we both are going to be your people in the program. So we are working very closely with our students. As I said, the program has this double title because it's a joint degree program organized by us, the 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘁𝘓𝑒, where we work, and the two University of Potsdam. So the University of Potsdam, specifically the Faculty of Law, and the Film University 𝘱𝘢𝘕 This is a special program because it combines both an MBA and LLM features. That's why we have also in the title of our program both degrees, meaning also that our students are a bit going through a bit more special curriculum that involves both elements of the legal aspects and the management aspects of the European film industry. However, it is so students can choose by in the moment of applying to the program whether they want to do the MBA or the Master of Law degree, or if they want to do the double degree. In each case, they have to first complete the full degree of one side, and then they have to complete it. And after completing that, they can apply for the second part and complete also there the 120 credit points. So it's a full 2 years master program, and is, however, also an extra occupational program, what is in German is called also berufsbegleitende Programm, that is addressed to people who are already working, having also already a professional experience, because our program is also structured mainly on a weekend format. So on Friday and Saturday is when we are having our classes. And on top of that, it's important to say that our program is mainly happening online, apart from 2 on-site study weeks that we are held in Potsdam, Babelsberg. And these are usually organized at the beginning of the first semester and almost at the end of the second semester. So basically, in autumn, in both times, giving the students the chance to meet in person twice in their study curriculum. And the program is fully taught in English, and is mainly addressed to film and TV professionals and to lawyers or people with a legal background who wants to specialize themselves in the audiovisual industry. So that's our focus. But we are also open to people who don't have yet an experience in the film industry but want to understand better this branch, and they want to jump into the audiovisual entertainment world. We only have one intake per year, so we start always in October, and our application period is already open and is open until July 31st. Students interested in the program can apply on our website, ap.media/filmmaster. There we have enlisted all the information about the program and the link to the application form. For the Master of Law, students will be officially enrolled at the University of Potsdam. And for students also who have completed their previous studies outside of Europe, in this case, it's not necessary doing the uni assist, whereas it is necessary to do it in case of applying for the MBA program, because that's the students will be officially enrolled at the Film University. So for LLMs, people interested in the LLM program, that's not necessary. It is important to know, however, what are the criteria to be admitted in the program, which are to have completed a higher education degree with at least 180 credit points or equivalent to one of those. And the higher education degree must have completed in at least in law or in economic studies, but with at least 30 credit points in legal subjects, or having at least 1 year of professional experience in the legal sector. On top of that, you need to have proof of at least 1 year of professional activity, and at least a C1 level of English skills. So this is related to the MBA students, so that's necessary to complete the 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘳 on UniAssist, whereas for the University of Potsdam is not important. So here it's a bit an overview of how the program is structured in the regular study structure of 4 semesters. So our student, as I was saying, they have a combination of both MBA and L.L.M program, and here you can see why. Because we have 6 basic modules that are so structured to give both students of the MBA and the L.L.M program a equal understanding of the film industry. And that's why we alternate some modules that are more economic or management oriented to those who are more legal oriented. And students will have really an understanding of what are the policies behind the film and TV industry, what are the important elements that one has to take into account that has an impact on the work in this field. We go also through elements such as contracting fundamentals, so really understanding what are the ways to create good contracts for film production, and so on and so further. On the second semester, this is when our students are kind of splitting in their specialization. So there are 3 specific modules for the L.L.M program, among which European business law, legal dispute resolution, and data and technology law. All of these are always with a focus on the film industry. So we always bring in case studies from experts, lawyers working very close by to producers. And then our L.L.M students will have also to choose one of the MBA in-depth modules. This is exactly to give them a very good understanding of how to work close by to other executives of the industry. Then on the 3rd and 4th semester, students have a bit more time for autonomous work, which include a project module. And the project module is not an internship, but is more like a hands-on project that has to be developed together with one of our partner companies or with one of another external company, or even with your own employer. But in that case, you will need to have a tutor that can follow you through the process. And the idea is to put into practice what has been taught during the first year of studies. At the end of this project module, usually there is an evaluation from 2 of our professors from the 2 universities. And this is the only, let's say, module where there is no grade at the end of it, but just a note about having passed this module with or without success. Whereas all the other modules have a final examination at the end that could consist in a written exam, a presentation, or a term paper. And then, last but not least, on the 4th semester, this should be the semester dedicated to writing your master thesis, for which you have 6 months time to write it, and it's usually around 50 pages work. This is more or less how our years looks like in terms of when our modules are happening. There is never overlapping of the modules, because especially in the second semester, even if there is a choice between L.L.M and MBA, we also want to give free access to all the students who want to attend all the other modules, or even those who are not mandatory. So that's why we structure it in this way. And also we don't usually we don't organize anything around February, mid-February and mid-May, because usually those are the time when the Berlinale Film Festival and then Cannes Film Festival are happening. and many of our speakers, lecturers, and experts are either attending one of these festivals, or we are also organizing something such as some gathering for our students and participants. In terms of cost and financing, since this is an extra-occupational program, it has a separate tuition fee that has to be paid directly to the 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘁𝘱𝑚, which is organizing the full program. And that consists of €21,000 with direct payment and €23,000 in case you want to apply with an plan of installments. Important to say is also that there is an early bird fee that is valid until, if you apply, until April 30th. And even on the installment payment plan, there is a possibility to have a customized plan. We have a standard plan of 5 installments, but we try to be as flexible as possible with our students. Apart the tuition fee, there is a semester fee that has to be paid directly to the University of Enrollment, and usually for this type of master program, the extra-occupational one, the fee is around 140, 150 per semester. In case you decide to do also the second degree, there is a discount on the second tuition fee. Related to the funding option, AP, so the 𝘱𝘱𝘕𝘁𝘱𝑚 Institute is offering 1 up to 2 scholarship a year that covers 50% of the cost. And if you already have studied at the University of Potsdam or at the Film University Babelsberg, you will receive also a 10% discount on the total fee. We also recommend you to look into national and regional funding. There are specific fundings also for people wanting to study and who are coming from the film industry or are connected to it, and there are like specific film funding that are sometimes offering this specific scholarship for continuous training. So yeah, why is then studying at 𝘱𝘱𝘕𝘁𝘱𝑚 Institute and the University of Potsdam? Because our program, as I was saying at the beginning, is a unique program that combines these two aspects and it really gives you a 360 degrees overview of the film industry. You will navigate and understand what are all the important and elements and what are the complexity behind this this field. And yeah, we also try to offer always a combination of academic and also very practical approach to our studies, inviting professors or academics, but also experts who really work in the industry. And this program, as we were saying also at the beginning, is an extra-occupational program which allows a compatibility with your career, with your family, and so on. So if you're interested in knowing more and also having like a direct conversation with us, here are our contact that will be then shared also by Nino on a later point. I think that's it from my side.
Great. Thank you very much, Katharina, for the details. And thank you very much, Laura, for taking the questions in the Q&A. Now, I have to present. So, dear attendees, I need to tell you that the webinar, so people are so eager to present to you that we have from Saarland 2 guests, and Reggie is right from the plane here to also assist you in the Q&A, or I don't know, take the presentation. I don't know how we decided. I just have Alexandra right now on the slide, but Reggie is also here. Thank you very much for making it. And I just wanted to mention it because right from the plane, he's here to guide you through the details or answer your questions, whatever he decides. So thank you very much for this effort. And
Thanks a lot.
yeah, sorry
I
for
guess I will
interrupting.
be. No, no, you're fine. Can everyone hear me? Because I just, as you said, okay, good. I will be doing the presentation. I just landed in Palermo. It was rather a bumpy ride, but it was fine. Let me just share this thing for a second here. We are in Palermo because can everyone see the screen? Good. We're in Palermo because we brought 15 students of ours. We have a cooperation with 𝘱𝘢𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘈 University and, oh God, I hope I pronounce it properly, 𝘗𝘀𝘪𝘏 University from Sweden. And we're doing a BIP, which is a blended intensive program, sort of a spring school. It started last week online, and this week is here. So anyway, let me just start off what we do. I have about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to put a timer in here. It's 4:45. This is the presentation of the Europa Institute. We are a bit crazy sometimes, traveling all over around and popping up in different places around Europe or the world. We are right there where that star is, so right in the heart of Europe. And Saarland University, since on the light of also the bit that we're in Palermo, we are chosen one of the first 7 European universities from the European Commission, and that's why we do have a lot of unified curricula and innovation teaching and learning environments and mobility for staff and students and so on. So yep, Saarland University is one of them. When it comes to the Europa Institute of the Saarland University is the second oldest institute of its kind, and it has an LLM program in European and international law. 10 top 10 best LLM in Europe in European and international law. So it was established in 1951 when Saarland was still part of France at the time, and now it's obviously part of Germany. There are about 75 students from 40 different nationalities that study the very intensive program for a year. And obviously, we are an accredited master's program in European and international law. I will just skip through a lot of these because I will talk about them later on. We are also very proud. We have an alumni association, which is going to turn 30 years next year. And we do have about 70 different guest professors, highly qualified professors, which are coming from either universities, EU Commission, Parliament, court, practicing professionals, which I will mention them a little bit also later on. One thing that we're very proud of, we do have the European Documentation Center in Saarland. So basically the library of the Europa Institute, it's a mine to explore and find out even more and more. The excursions, I'm going to touch them later. When it comes to the institute, it has 2 directors. Basically, it's Professor 𝘗𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘈 and Thomas Gigerich. They both hold the chair of Public International Law, Public Law, and European Law. They both had a 𝘱𝘢𝘠𝘕 chair, obviously in different fields. Professor 𝘗𝘥𝘷𝘦 had one in EU constitutional framework and international dispute settlement and rule of law, and Professor Gigerich, which is also a human rights lawyer, it had the 𝘱𝘢𝘠𝘕 chair for European integration, anti-discrimination, and human rights and diversity. These are the only 2 professors that you will see at the institute, because the rest comes and goes. The rest is sort of like what I did today. They pack their stuff, they come to Saarbrücken, they teach, and then they go back where they are. But I'm going to mention them a little bit later on. When it comes to the LLM program, these are some of the key factors, but just because of the time, I'm going to skip some slides in here. Basically, the program could be done entirely in English, apart from track 4 or module 6, what we call it, which is technology and law. It's unfortunately currently only in German offered. But when it comes to the basic phase or track 1, European, which is the European integration, that is all in English. And then we have, we call them tracks, but basically what it is, to explain it also to the students, is a specialization. So basically the students, when the LLM is awarded, it says awarded LLM in European international law and then specialized in. And then the students have the right to pick up to 2 specializations to combine them. So basically, is European Economic Law Regulation Compliance, track 2 and 3, or model 3 and 4, or track 2 would be trade investment, international dispute settlement, which basically was divided, but now we merged it into 2. And then it's track 3, which is European and international protection of human rights. So as I said, or technology and law, but it's only in German. And students can combine 2 of those. After they have successfully accomplished 45 credit points, then it's the master thesis phase. When it comes to the key factors of the master's program, we, as I mentioned before, 75 students from 40 different nationalities. So basically, it's a little small UN, so to say. The professors, which I mentioned it a little bit more in another slide, are coming from different fields. So you will see very different approaches to the law, being those from international judges to working practitioners at the commission, or being those also lawyers, basically. And obviously the alumni association, which we are very proud of. And actually, me and Alex, my colleague here, we are both board members of the association, and we do a lot of things for students, such as also alumni meetings and networking and how to find a job in Europe and Germany and so on and so forth. We are, as I mentioned before, right in the heart of Europe. So basically, if you come to Saarbrücken, we will take you in some cities, but the rest you can definitely go and visit yourself. We will take you to Strasbourg, Luxembourg, and Brussels for sure. And you never know, the year it's crazy. So we can just also come up with a program in Palermo, for example. But it's also but it's an hour and 55 minutes from Paris via the train. So it's very nice to visit not only the area, but also you're not far away to visit other European capitals or countries. When it comes to the tuition and fees, we still remain probably the cheapest L.L.M. in Europe, with 6,800 euros divided in 2 semesters. In case for the Erasmus students, they obviously can come up and collect their credit points and transfer them in their home universities. And if they decide to come back and do the L.L.M. later on, obviously all those credit points will be there. So sometimes I tell the Erasmus students that will save you time, but basically not money. So you can come and collect credit points, go back home, finish what you were doing, and then come back and do the L.L.M. Saarbrücken is a very safe and affordable city with roughly about 700 euros costs a month. And Saarbrücken is also quite a student city. Only undergraduates, the University of Saarland has about 20,000 students. So therefore, one more time for the structure of the master program. So basically, we have the basic phase, the European integration. Everyone has to take them. It's basically 3 courses. It's public international law, European integration, and internal market. And then from all of these other 4 tracks that you can see in here, students can combine up to 2. So once again, it's European economic law compliance regulation, track number 1. Track number 2 would be trade investment, international dispute settlement. Track 3 would be European international human rights, and track 4, only in German, technology and law. After the students have collected those 45 credit points from there, then they are allowed to write the master thesis, which is obviously an academic work for the students. And basically, in 1 year, you can have your L.L.M. done. This is basically what I just explained: 45 credit points from classes, and then 15 credit points from the master thesis, and then you basically need the 60. You have met the requirement of 60 credit points to get awarded the L.L.M. in European international law. So these are the professors that I mentioned before. Meanwhile, I was trying to get ready. I heard in here that somebody was talking about IP. And I thought, oh yeah, Judge Steinfurt, which is this lady over here. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually an alumni of the Institute, and she's one of the professors at the Institute also. She's the German judge at the European Court of Justice. She teaches trademark. Then we have, I don't know, other let's finish with the judges first, and then we have also the vice president of the European Court of Human Rights, Judge 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘕, which is the judge of Montenegro. Basically, she teaches 2 classes in the track human rights. And then there are also, I don't know, other people. It's the Secretary General of the Commission, which is Professor Selmayr. At this point, because the French were a little bit too intimidated when von der Leyen came up in Brussels, they were like, no, 2 Germans up there, that doesn't work out. So therefore, in the last 5 years, he was ambassador in Vienna, and now he's ambassador of EU in Rome. And I guess once von der Leyen mandate is over, he's going to go back to Brussels and hold the highest civil servant position that is actually stated in the treaties of the EU. And then obviously we also have other professors in here. I don't know, Professor Lang, it's a partner at 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘍, managing the manager of the White case, Ahold, is also teaching a case study at the institute. So yeah, I just mentioned a couple, but and also like this guy over here, this is Professor Pascal, for example, and he's the German ambassador in Copenhagen, and he also teaches a class at the institute. 10 minutes down. Okay, 5 to go. When it comes to the soft skills, we also do offer German and French language courses. Everyone has to go through intercultural training, and then we have negotiations and advocacy training. Something that I very enjoyed also as a student, because I'm an alumni of the institute, are the practice-oriented classes. Myself, I did EuroSim. EuroSim one time takes part in Europe and one time takes part in the States. And it's basically the simulation of the European decision-making. So you are given a role. You're either playing von der Leyen or Macron or Meloni or whatever. And you're given a legislation to pass, basically. So last year we were in New York. This year we were in Antwerp, and next year we are going to be at Virginia Tech in New York. And usually after that, we also take students for a special visit at the UN and the German representation to the UN in New York, and they get to spend also a couple of days in New York. When it comes to the job market, we do the EPSO training, the Blue Book training preparation. We just had it actually last week. Then we do application network, and as I said, mentioned before, which usually falls under the alumni's working and studying in Germany. Then at the end of the day, you will have basically all of these employability skills that everyone needs, being that in a law firm or in any compliance department that you would end up working. I mentioned the Alumni Association, so I'm not going to mention it again. I will just mention a couple of things that we do hold alumni meeting regularly in Brussels and Luxembourg, and before we used to hold them in Berlin. We will probably revive that again after Corona. Things got a little bit bumpy. These are some of the alumni expression, but I'm not going to go through them. This is EuroSim, basically the European decision-making simulation. We also have the 𝘱𝘢𝘓 court that we participate, and we try our best also to fund students for the FDI. We always do that because both our students have performed very well. Speaking of 𝘱𝘢𝘓 and FDI, and we also had, before Corona, we had the ECJ moot court, which we are going to try to revive again, where students are invited from both alumni judges of the court, the Spanish one and the German one, and then they get to eat lunch there, and then after that they simulate the ECJ moot court in one of the courtrooms of the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg. We have had simulations with the Regent's University in London. This year, London didn't work out. Palermo worked out. So as I said, we come up with different stuff to do and different trips to take the students into. One of the regular trips would be Brussels, where we spend a night where we visit the Parliament and the Commission, and usually, particularly from the Commission, we always get a guest lecture from one of the professors at the Institute, which tend to be also an alumni of the Institute. And then obviously we go to Strasbourg and Luxembourg. In both respective courts, the judges will greet the students when we take them there. In Luxembourg, we also go and visit the EFTA court because the Norwegian judge is also at the EFTA court, is also an alumni of the institute. So, and then as I mentioned, Berlin, which we're going to try to revive again. We do visit VDI Europa Forum, which is actually a political debate, so to say, live from heads of states. And Professor Weber would take the students, whoever is writing the seminar in dispute settlement, to visit the ICC in Paris. The application procedure, well, you need a university degree in law or comparable subject, business studies, humanities. We also tend to get a lot of translators or interpreters because now they call it lawyer linguist if you want to work at the ECJ. The application deadline would be the 15th of July. It's not recommendable for the ones which are non-EU citizens because the visa procedure might take a little bit. And obviously you have to have a proof sound of English if you want to study fully in English, and also in German if you want to do the IT law, basically. We also do every last Thursday of the month a Q&A, which you will see again my face, answering your questions. And then we also have the European Summer course, which is this year would be the EU as a global actor for integration, equality, and engagement. It's going to take part from the 28th of July until the 6th of August. And there you will also be visiting Luxembourg, Strasbourg, Saarbrücken, and Trier. And there is also a possibility for scholarship. This is where you can find us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or I don't know, somewhere in Europe, like in some islands in Italy, having a summer course. So thank you very much for listening to me in this chaotic jumping in the middle of the show.
Rigi, just a quick question. I clicked the wrong thing here on the Q&A. It's not that hard, but apparently I want to answer this in real time, but I have no idea how to do this. The question was whether all of the excursions are included in our study fees. Maybe we can just really quickly answer that and then be done. Sorry.
Majority of them are. So basically Brussels, Luxembourg, and Strasbourg, they're all included. If we're coming up with these intensive programs, which are third-party funded programs such as BIT Palermo, this is also funded from the EU. So the students have to pay nothing. Sometimes if we have to take the students to New York, for example, for Eurosim, the students might have to pay a small fee. What is the small fee? Well, for a week, it will include at least what it was last year, right? For a week, accommodation and food, you know, and every entry into all of these institutions, it goes roughly 700, 800 euros. But when it comes to the rest, Professor Bungberg takes his students to Lake am Chiemsee in Bavaria, that is fully funded. Wismut is fully funded. FDI would be fully funded. So it really depends. We try to fund as much as possible. But there are times where students might have to pay maybe half of the tickets to take them to New York, for example.
Right.
I don't know if I confused you guys even more or if I answered the question.
No, I think it was very promising and it was very interesting. Thank you very much
Perfect.
for the presentation. Thank you very much also
Thank you.
for taking this question. Yeah, all of the three programs presented were already very interesting, and we have one more to listen to. Dear attendees, Regi also mentioned the info session for the program, and I also posted for the previous program. There will be also an info event on 8th of April, as I saw on the page. All right, and all the dates, 27th of March and 24th of April for this current program, info sessions are also in chat. So just check out chat, it's also kind of informative, but first full attention towards Dr. Jelena Kropacheva, who will be talking about L.L.M. International Economic Law from Leuphana, a very nice and cozy city. And the mic goes to Dr. Kropacheva.
Thank you very much for this introduction. Thank you very much for staying to the end to my presentation. I will share my PowerPoint, just a second. Okay, now it should be there, and we will start from the beginning. Now you should be able to see my presentation. Yes, great. Thank you very much. So I'm going to present dual degree LLM program, International Economic Law, which is offered for 2 years at Leuphana and also at Glasgow or at Barbados. And I'm the coordinator of this program, so if you have later questions, you're welcome to write me. So I will briefly introduce our Leuphana Law School, which offers this program. I will tell you about the curriculum, about the structure of the program, career prospects, entry requirements, and whom to contact if you have questions. So this program is offered at the Leuphana Law School, which unites all legal scholars who are present at Leuphana at different departments, at different faculties. It combines law and business studies and has a special interdisciplinary approach. So our law school is both innovative and internationally focused. It has quite a lot of connections with different other international law schools. And this course of study is very practice-oriented with an international focus, and where you will be able to get quite a lot of not only practical knowledge, but also quite a lot of skills and soft skills and future skills which you would need in your profession. So some essentials, it is a dual degree program, what means you will get actually 2 master degrees, 2 LLM degrees. It is a 2-year program and it is conducted completely in English. So you will spend your first year at Leuphana University, and for the second year you can choose either to go and study at the Glasgow University or to study at 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥, Barbados, but online in the second case. You will be able to get specialized law degrees, a very good proficiency in English. You will have access to global graduate networks, as both Glasgow University and University of Barbados has quite a lot of connections and a very broad alumni network also at Leuphana, and you will be able to widen your horizon through this experience. So during your first year, you will get core competence in international economic law, and I will show you the modules, the structure of the program in just a few slides. And during the second year, you will be able to choose your specialization in a chosen field. So you will be basically choosing your second master program, where you can get more specific in the field area which you find most interesting or most useful for you. So this is the curriculum of the program, as you see. So the first year is completely in Lüneburg, and you will be studying international law, European economic law, international economic law, international private law, and European private law. You will have different courses offered by different lecturers from Leuphana, but also from Glasgow University. So you will be sort of already here prepared for your second year, where you will be choosing your specialization, and then you will be writing your master thesis either at Barbados or in Glasgow. So these are some of the Leuphana teaching staff. For example, Professor Christian Tams, who is the director of the program of the Glasgow counterpart. He is also a member of Leuphana staff, and he is also teaching. And so he will be learning how to study also in Glasgow. And then we have different other scholars who have not only rich knowledge in their fields of expertise, but also like Professor 𝘗𝘓𝘕𝘓, who has worked in the ministries, and he knows what the ministries require, and he has, for example, a more practice-oriented approach to studies. I will not go through the campus tour of the Leuphana University. I will send you the presentation, or Nino will forward to you my presentation. And there you can look also at our campus tour. And just to mention, it is a very little town, medieval town with a very nice campus. And I think, yes, it will be. It is also close to Hamburg. So if you like big cities, you also can get easily to Hamburg. And this is our central building. Leuphana stands for humanitarian education for sustainability. And this you will be also able to experience already in our building. So now I'm coming to the second year, which you will spend in Glasgow. Glasgow University is one of the oldest law schools and law programs. You will be based in the cosmopolitan of West End area of the city. A very nice campus, lots of student activities, lots of different clubs. So you will be able to have quite a very interesting social year as well. Here again, I will not play the link about Glasgow University and why to choose maybe the second year to study in Glasgow, but you will have the link to this video. And here, as I mentioned, you will be able to choose your specialization after you receive the more general knowledge about international economic law. Here you can specify whether you want to study commercial track, international suit track, international property, international law more specifically. So here you will be able to choose your master program for your second year. You can find details at this link, and you can already look at what kind of master programs are offered in Glasgow. You will have 6 courses running from September to March, April, so 3 per term. And in Glasgow, they have 3 masters. I'm sorry. You will be writing quite a lot of written exams, papers, and in the end, you will be writing a dissertation, which is also will be assessed by Leuphana professors. And graduation will be sometime in November during the second year. Some of the key features, both actually in Lüneburg, but also in Glasgow, you will have relatively small classes, quite a lot of interactive seminars. You have control of your schedule and a very interesting graduate community. Now, the second opportunity is to study at the Cave Hill campus of the University of the West Indies, UWI. And here you will be studying mostly online, though there are some master programs where you would also need to come at least for 10 or 2 days or 2 weeks and to do some practical exercises, again, depending on what kind of program you choose. So here it is one of the most traditional, oldest universities and also law schools in the Caribbean area. So most of the politicians in these regions have studied at this university. And again, here you will be able to widen your horizon and also to have to deepen your professional network. Here again, you will be able to choose different law programs. So here you have some examples: mediation practice, investor-state arbitration, sports dispute resolution, construction dispute resolution, international commercial arbitration, international public law, intellectual property law, corporate and commercial law. So here again, you will be choosing your master program for your second year. Here again, you can later play the video about this university when you get the link. And this is why I will not play it now, not to spend too much time. So our students will be prepared specifically for management positions in multinational companies, in international organizations. They usually get advisory positions in both public and private sector. Quite a lot of them are in different big corporations and companies which do counseling on economic issues. Yes, so you can also stay later in the science and also do your PhD if you like, or there are quite a lot of other opportunities for you in this international and business world. Now, for entry requirements, you do need to have a Bachelor of Laws or a bachelor's degree with predominantly legal courses. You also do need to prove your English language proficiency if you are non-native English speaker. If you are native English speaker, you do not have to prove anything. So here you can find more information about what to submit or how to apply for the program. And fees or contributions for the intake. So at Leuphana, you're only paying student fees, which are about 150 euros per year. But during the second year at the University of Glasgow, you will need to pay about now for this upcoming year, £17,100. It already includes a 40% discount for our Leuphana students. So usually it is much more expensive to study at the University of Glasgow, but our students get, first of all, the admission to the programs which they like, despite a very high competition at the University of Glasgow, and plus you get this 40% discount. At the University of West Indies, you will also get a discount, and you will need to pay $10,000 for the second year of the study program. There are some scholarships available. Unfortunately, there are no scholarships at Leuphana, but you can look for scholarships opportunities at Glasgow University and also at University of West Indies. But I'm sure also you can find quite a lot of resources at the webpage of my German university about different scholarship opportunities. So this is at a glance, one more slide which you can later look at, just maybe to mention application deadlines for EU degrees. For EU graduates, it is the 1st of June, and for non-EU degrees, it is the 1st of May, to give you more time a little bit also to settle your visa issues. Yes, so I think now I'm coming to the end of the presentation, and if you have questions, you're welcome to contact me, or you're welcome also to contact our student counseling, Tom Kleist, who can support you on any issues regarding also visa, etc. And maybe a very last point of view, we do have also a very useful career center, writing center, where you can attend seminars which will help you to write, which will help you to learn different soft skills or future skills. And also our graduate school offers so-called master grad skills, where you will be also learning different other comprehensive and useful skills, which will help you in your future career orientation. Thank you very much for your attention and for staying up to the end of my very last presentation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kropacheva, for the details you provided. Dear all, if you want to check the videos that were mentioned already now, the links are in the chat, so feel free to enjoy them after we are finalized with the Q&A. So everybody for staying for so long. But I also, dear attendees, I believe this is also for your benefit, because you now have more insights about the programs, and you can already openly and directly apply to one of them if you like. Dear previous speakers, also thank you very much for taking program-related questions, which also helps me a lot, as I don't have to repeat them right now, but we are already over time. But since Dr. Kropacheva didn't have a chance to answer them, that's why I will voice two questions for her, and then we can take one to everybody. So the question is for Leuphana: is it possible to do the whole program in Leuphana? Is the admission done through Germany or through Glasgow? These are the two questions.
Yes, thank you very much. Unfortunately, it is not possible to do the program completely in Germany. So you do have to do the second year either at the University of West Indies. Again, you can stay at your hometown if it is more possible for this option and study online, or you would need to go to Glasgow. And the second question was...
is the application done through Germany, or does Glasgow also?
Yes, you will be applying directly to Leuphana, and then you will be admitted already to Glasgow or to the second track at the University of West Indies.
Thank you. So for program-related questions, there were like topics about the admission, if it's possible to get a decision before the application is done, and so on. So like relevant speakers already addressed them. Dear attendees, if you have further questions, feel free to contact them directly. Now there is one question which is unanswered, and it's the following one, and maybe I can already name all of you, and you could by one answer this. Does this degree program enable us to practice law in Germany if we don't have C1 level of German language? Of course, we will learn German, but to reach C1 level. So just to sum up, is it also possible to stay with this degree in Germany and then find a career there? I assume yes, but maybe you can say it more nicely. Eric, you can start.
I can answer that question, I guess, since I'm a lawyer myself. So the idea is the bar exam, it's rather a national bar exam. So it's not it just because you have a law degree, the doors of the courts are not open for you, right? So it's easier for EU citizens under the recognition of qualification regulation, EU regulation, to recognize a bar exam from a member state. It's still a lot of work, but it's doable. But if you are not an EU citizen, a law degree it's not a bar exam degree. And plus, particularly in Germany, it's very difficult with the bar exam because they have two states examination. So it's not, there are other countries that have only one. Albania has only one. Germany has, US has only one. You write it, you pass it, congratulations. Germany is divided in two. So they have the first state examination, and after you pass that, then you go to the second state examination. That does not mean, though, that without a bar exam, you will not be able to work in a law firm, but you will not be able to represent a client in front of the court. I think Jana, my colleague here, wanted to add something. Sorry.
Yeah, because I am I happen to be a lawyer in Germany, and that's why it makes it easier for me to hop on. It is really hard to work as an actual lawyer in Germany, and above that, you will need. Apart from the exam, you will need to know German on a really high level to work as a lawyer, because the bar exam, the second state exam, is really hard to achieve if you're not a legal student in Germany. There are some examples where it happened, but usually our international students are not going that direction. But you're completely right. You can work in companies as legal in-houses. That is no problem. You can just not represent in front of a court. And there are possibilities in law firms to work as in like a consultant, something like that. And some German law firms actually in the IP sector hire lawyers that have a bar exam in another country, hire them, because it's sometimes even cheaper not to consult a lawyer in these countries, let's say in Asia, India, Turkey, whatever, but have a lawyer in-house that can practice law in their countries. So there are some small possibilities, but usually the bar exam and also the language level or hurdle is quite high. We recommend our students, if you want to stay in Germany and find jobs in the law sector, most of the times a B2 level is recommended. Depends on the field of law. I think in the EU law, it might be easier. Also in data law, actually, you can work because English is the working language. It is way easier than other fields of law, and probably European law as well.
Lina or Dr. Kropacheva, do you want to add anything to this? I mean, with you don't necessarily need to be a lawyer. You can, with these degrees, you have great, wonderful career prospects, and they were also mentioned. You also saw some of the testimonials from students. So I mean, it shouldn't be something that you should worry about, I guess.
Yes, thank you very much. Just to add, our program has this focus international economic law, yeah. So this is why our graduates aim and get also positions in international companies, international NGOs, or even governmental organizations. And in Germany, we do have graduates who have found jobs without having German skills. For example, at different law companies also, or NGOs who have some project work in some other countries, especially if you bring another knowledge of another language. But my personal advice would be also, if you want to stay in Germany, just you do need to learn a language, German language. It will definitely help you to find better job opportunities.
Katrina, do you want to add anything, or?
Yeah, well, for us, as I was saying in my presentation, the focus is specializing in the film industry. So it's also addressed to people wanting to work maybe in production company and becoming a consultant in that sense. So that's the main focus. So it's
A follow-up question came: why are some masters with 60 CTS and others 120? In which case do I need 120 CTS? Is this an advantage for job interviews? I think it depends on the length of the program. Is it 60 or 120? The amount of CTS for today's presented programs are on the pages. So in case you want to recap, this will be also shared on Monday. And as for the advantage, there is no advantage. I guess it depends on your background and the final degree that you will receive. So I don't think in job interviews they will ask you how many CTS you got from the master's programs. But if I'm wrong, feel free to unmute yourself and add on that.
I just wanted to add, because I've taken these questions a couple of times from the students. Germany did not, when it comes to the legal education, did not really implement the Bologna card, right? So they went with a 5-year diploma, what it was, which now is a 3+2. And then that +2 makes it the 120 credit points. I'm talking at least for the L.L.M, for the Europa Institute. Being a postgraduate program as we are, it's a title. So if you wanna, it's about the title, it's not about the credit points, right? It's sort of like, and sometimes I also tell the students this, like, stop thinking about this, because it's sort of like a PhD. The moment that you write a PhD, once you're done, 2 years later, no one will ask you what did you write it with and which grade you got it, your PhD, and how long did it take you to write it. The moment that you have the title doctor, congratulations. The moment that you have the title L.L.M, congratulations. This is the part that you want to sell to the companies. So don't get confused with the Bologna card sometimes of the 120 or 60 credit points, particularly for the ones which are not, we're not thinking the 120 falls usually under whoever wants to be a lawyer, right? Because not always the 3-year bachelor degree is good enough for you to write the bar exam in some countries, and then you need the +120, which is the +2 to make it to 5 years. Programs which are shorter, they are usually postgraduate, they are more intense, and you got to focus about the title that you get out of it. If one of my colleagues here wants to like add something or amend me, just please do so.
Great, wonderful. Thank you everybody for this also short but nice discussion. I will wrap it up now because I take you too much over time, and I don't want to ruin your evening or it's part of the day wherever in the world you are now. Thank you very much for the attention.